It's weird because, like, well, I don't know. Are we live right now? I assume we're live at least.
Yeah, we're live.
Alright. But yeah, like, because we had that discussion before where it's like, oh, Digimon don't really die, they just come back as, like, a different Digimon. But, like, the Biyomon that comes back has a very different personality. Like, it's very polar opposite.
Well, I've always maintained that the Digimon comes back as the same exact Digimon. In fact, all of their partners are exactly the same as they were before, except for Biyomon, who's a hateful little scumbag.
Like, Biyomon and Gabumon definitely seem different, I feel like, and that has some effing implications.
Gabumon's a little more shy, I guess.
Yeah, like, cause like, you look at how they, like, act and, like, react to things, and it's like, oh, these are not, like, the same characters. This isn't just, you erase their memories, like, this is not the same Biyomon. This is, like, essentially a different Biyomon that Sora happened to get.
By the way, this is Digimon Adventure Loss.
Yeah.
We kind of didn't even talk about, like, what we're going on about right now.
Yeah, we just sort of got into it, because holy crap.
I think I've got a lot to say about this one.
Before we, like, just jump into it, like, is there anything else we want to mention beforehand?
I don't have anything.
I do want to mention that there's a Netflix animated film called A Whisker Away that I watched that was really good.
Huh.
So it's like, this effing, like, girl has, like, a school crush, and she, like, turns into a cat to stalk him.
You told me about this, I think.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it, like, way back, and then I watched it. It's like, oh wow, this is actually surprisingly good. But yeah, Whisker Away, it's like, it's fantasy cat adventures in Catland, and I love it, and, you should watch it if you like cats. Alright. Yeah, that should hail that then. I don't think I can really say much else without really spoiling things. So yeah, effing Digimon. So you know how this entire time I've been teasing, like, oh yeah, I know one spoiler about the series.
Is it that Genai's evil?
Yes.
Okay.
Evil Genai was the spoiler. And I was like...
Not only evil, but he's a total creep now. What the heck?
Yeah, it's like... Genai becomes evil. It's like, they don't know what... Alright, so let me just back up a little bit. Back in, like, Adventure, like, back in the original series, it's like, alright, Genai wasn't really, like, much of a character. He was just sort of like, oh yeah, the generic, like, wise mentor figure. Like, He didn't really have, like, his own, like, interests or, like, personality or whatever, He just sort of existed to advance the plot, and that's fine. So it's like, alright, you turn, like, someone who's just meant as, like, basically a walking plot device into a bad guy. And, like...
Well, to be fair, they gave him more agency in Zero, too.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's like, you turn someone like that into a villain, and it's like, okay, what's their personality even going to be? And it's like, yeah, I know, just make them evil. So this is literally just, it feels like the writer's just, sitting there, it's like, okay, well, Jai is evil now, what are, like, evil things we can make him do to show how evil he is?
How about pin Sora to the ground and lick her cheek?
Yeah, what the heck?
What the crap? I get it, he's evil, but come on.
The only way this makes sense to me is just under the pretense of just, like, it doesn't matter what he does, we just need to make sure people know he's evil.
Is King Drusilla like, hey, Go be a total creepo now.
Like, so afterward, like, did Yggdrasil, like, turn him evil? I don't know if they, like, confirm it or not.
I don't even remember what the wording was. Jedi's evil now, and
Yeah,
he's working.
He's like,
He's working for Yggdrasil now.
Yeah, he's like, this is the will of Yggdrasil and stuff like that. Like, I just assume this was because, like, effing Piedmon put an evil seed in his neck back in Adventure or something.
That wouldn't be the case because the reboot happened. That never would have happened.
Well, you'd assume it would have, like, fixed everything, but at the same time, like, Jedi does seem to have his memories.
Yeah, and here's the preview image where all 4 of the Dark Masters are just hanging out in mega form.
Yeah.
None of them talk, none of them have personality, which is a huge wasted opportunity, but hey.
Yeah. Like,
they seem to be completely under control of Dark Jedi.
Man. Just... That feels like such a... Man, like, these do not feel like the same Dark Masters at all.
I don't... They're all puppets.
Ironically.
Yeah. Why did Blue Blaster stop Metal Seedramon?
I was gonna ask, like, the same thing, because, like, holy...
Why did any of these rookie-level attacks stop these megas ever? What in the world is happening?
There's a moment where, like, effing Machidramon just, like, grabs Biyomon and Sora just clings to his arm, and he just smashes her literally, like, right against, like, a cliff, like, rock face, just completely flat. Just this effing, like, 3,000-pound mega-level war machine just tries to crush this, like, effing teenage girl, and it does nothing, and she's like, don't worry, Biyomon, we're together, we have to hold hands.
Yeah, I'm fine. What?
There are moments where, like, effing Machidron just shoots his Giga Cannons, and, like, I'm pretty sure it's like, oh, Agumon and Gabumon just shoot their attacks at, like, stops the, like, blast or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, what? But, yeah.
They also survived direct shots from the same attack earlier, which I think the implication is that Mekumon opened portals and teleported them out of the way, but, like...
Yeah, and what... Oh, man, this one hurts my head just thinking about it, because, like, holy crap, they just did not care.
This one's really weird.
Oh, man.
Let's start with the most important, well, probably one of the most important things, is the beginning bit, where, hey, guess what? Himikawa and Nishijima were both Digidestined. Either that or Nishijima was just tagging along, I don't know.
Yeah, thanks for getting us back on track with that, by the way.
There's so much insanity to talk about with this.
Oh my... So, like...
I don't know what was happening at the beginning, but it was something bad, and it involved all the Dark Masters, which is what this preview image is from.
So we did know that it's like, oh yeah, the Dark Master... Well, no, not specifically blah blah. We did know that, like, they're Digidestined before Tai and the others. That was confirmed.
Yes.
So it's like, I'm assuming this is like, Digidestined before, like, Tai and the others were even, like, born. Like, probably, like, thousands of years back in the digital world time, essentially.
Yeah, because Himikawa and Nishijima were children, so...
Yeah.
The current Digidestined wouldn't have even been born yet.
I think the Dark Masters are just around. Just don't worry about it. They're just there. Like, I guess this does kind of make sense, because they were around during Johnny's time. At least Piedmon was.
Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on. I guess it's the Dark Masters are winning.
Yeah, like, it seems like the only thing that's really happening is just sort of like, oh, the evil is winning. Oh, darkness is taking the land or whatever. It's like, sure, I thought darkness was specifically just Piedmon's thing, but yeah, whatever. because, like, each of them, like, correspond to their own, like, like, areas, right?
Yeah.
Like, ultimate win for Machinedramon wouldn't be like, oh, the world is just full of darkness. It would be like, oh, my machine empire, though.
Yeah.
Like, Puppetmon's all about that forest.
Also, I might need to watch the scene over again, but were they fighting alongside the four the Devas?
Yeah, this is the origin story of the Devas.
Okay, the Devas are created at this time. Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, how are they losing with the four Devas on their side? But it's because they just created them, and then they won.
So it's like, I feel like I should point out that it's like, back in the original series, the Dark Masters were powerful, but they weren't, like, that strong.
Oh, yeah. Nothing can further drive home that point than when all of the kids get their mega forms and they just completely obliterate Machinedramon.
Yeah. Like, if you're ever back in, like, Digimon Adventure, like, effing War Greymon just takes out Machinedramon by himself, like, on a whim. And, like, Puppetmon gets wrecked by, like, a bunch of ultimates.
Yeah.
Like...
In this movie or series of episodes, depending, War Greymon and Metal Garurumon, like, are air juggling Metal Seadramon.
Yeah. Honestly, that kind of makes sense, because, like, Wargron himself just took Metal Seadramon out.
Yeah, it's just funny.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, I think Darkness is when, Piedmon's just like, it's this weird, like, old cinematic style, like, old silent film sequence, which I guess is weirdly fitting for Piedmon.
Yeah, nobody's talking. I mean, they are, but no audio is happening. And it just has subtitles.
So, like, Piedmon's going to, like, win. And, like, you see Hikawa just starts glowing, and, like, this light appears that, like, powers up, like, all the Digimon around here. Well, most of them, anyways.
It's the same thing that possessed Kari in the last movie.
Yeah. It powers up specifically 4 random Digimon, seemingly, because I don't think any of them are, like, their partners.
The only one we know is Tapermon, who was, in this scene, the Megadramon.
Yeah, because I was wondering, like, oh, are there, like, more kids because, like, there's, like, 5 Digimon there fighting. But no, it just seems like, she has the partner, and, like, every other Digimon's just, like, like, a random ultimate that decide to join them or something, right?
Yeah, it doesn't even seem that Nishijima has a partner. I think he just tagged along because they're friends.
Yeah, like, she was chosen and he, like, got through just on the, like, chance of it or whatever. Like, she pulled him with him or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, she powers up 4 Ram Digimon, like, you see them, like, just glow and they turn into the 4 Devas. And it's like, okay, so that's, like, where they're from. Like, this is why there's the origin for that. And
the
like,
Dark Masters have always been a problem, so they needed a fix for it.
So, I want to point something out. Black War Greymon can't even touch a Zulongmon in his weakened state.
Yeah.
Just one of his, like, little core things is enough to make someone go Mega. Like, straight up.
Yes.
There is no need for him to have, like, sacrificed effing, like, Megadramon to take out the Dark Masters.
Yeah. Maybe it's because he was just created. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Don't really make sense to me, but, you could probably, like, BS, like, some answer out of that. Yeah, you'd probably be like, oh, Megadramon had to die to, like, save the digital world or, like, reset the darkness or whatever. Yeah, at the end of the day, I don't think it really matters that much, but it's, like, it is really weird.
Yeah, but also, why wasn't Megadramon just reincarnated as an egg?
Yeah, he really should. I guess it's because, like, it's supposed to be like, oh, the Davis just used him up to save the world or whatever. Or something weird like that. But it's like, I don't know, you know? You'd
I'm not
think
sure.
there'd be a more concrete answer for, like, the driving plot point behind all the events of the series so far.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Like, literally the most important event in, like, these films to date.
Yeah. So, you know how TK handled the death of his partner, and how he kind of got over it, but he still suffers from a little bit of PTSD from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Himikawa did not handle it well.
Like,
Himikawa went to obsessive psychopathy.
no, like, not a single person in this universe has ever had a friend die and just been like, okay, well, you know, like, I'm sad, but I'll get through it. Like, every single time it leaves, like, a long, like, lasting scar that just, like, they just cling to through the rest of their life that just, like, turns them towards the dark side.
Yeah. For all intents and purposes, TK has handled it pretty well.
Yeah. Like, that's the only death that hasn't really, like, affected people, it seems, is effing Biyomon.
Yeah.
Like, weirdly enough.
At this point,
Yeah,
when
well-
Biyomon dies, it's like, oh yeah, it's par for the course at this
Yeah.
point.
I guess, to be fair, it's like, Mimi does have, like, you know, yeah, Mimi gets Zoro, like, you know, Chumon dying and stuff, but, like, everyone else.
Yeah. The only time, now that I think about it, the only time I have ever seen someone really, really take Leomon's death as a... how far into Tamers have you seen?
Yeah, I know what that's about.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only time I've seen someone really take a Leomon's death really, really badly is in Tamers.
Oh, man.
And boy, did they take it badly.
Like, yeah. Yeah. Just-
Now, to be fair, the Leomon in question was a partner.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like, it seems like the timeline of events here is like, alright, you know, like, Dark Masters are winning, like, David's a created, Megadramon, like, specifically Himikawa's Megadramon, her partner, like, effing evolved from a Tapermon, which, okay, sure, why not?
I checked the Digivolution line, that's real.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Megadron just, like, sacrifices himself, or rather gets sacrificed by other Digimon to save the world, and, you know, because of that, like, presumably, like, I'm pretty sure it's standard where that, like, you know, oh yeah, Megadron can't come back because reasons, he's dead for good. It's like, okay. So, like, Himikawa goes back to the real world, and she kind of tries to go over it, and, like, effing just, like, chronologically, you know, like, that's, like, the guy, what's his name, just being like, oh yeah, you know, like, don't worry, I'll be your partner, and, you know, she's just like, oh, that's so stupid, but I kind of love it.
Also, what the heck? Tapermon goes straight to Megadramon.
Oh, wait, what?
I'm looking, yeah. Tapermon, next form. Hold on there. Next forms, Megadramon.
Holy crap. I wonder if that's specifically because of this movie or, like, what?
It might be, because I'm looking, let's see. It could turn into Bormon, which doesn't turn into Megadramon. It could turn into Monochromon, which... Where's next forms? I guess Monochromon doesn't have a next form.
I would believe that Monochromon can become Megadramon, because at least he's, like, a dinosaur type.
Yeah, but on the wiki, it doesn't even have a section for next forms.
Wait, doesn't Monochromon become Tyrannomon or something? Sorry, not Chimeramon, Triceramon. Does he become, like, Triceramon or something?
I think in the games and whatnot, usually, but on the wiki, it only has prior forms listed.
Oh boy.
That's weird.
But yeah, so like, she kinda gets over a little bit, time passes. For whatever reason, Genai goes evil, and he just sends her an email like, hey, if we reboot the digital world, you can get your Digimon back. And she's like, okay, let's do it then. And they, like, set up the organization, like, try to, like, get the virus to just, keep activating or whatever to, like, cause a reboot. So, like, Dark Genai is behind everything with Himikawa's help because she wants Tapermon back, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, that's the main backstory we learn in, like, this movie that just sets the stage for everything else. And we learn a lot of that, like, later on after this intro sequence, but yeah, I'm just, like, saying it like this so it makes a bit more sense.
Yeah. Also, spoiler, she finds the Tapermon, and for some reason she thinks it'll remember her.
Yeah, like, what the heck? Because I was just watching out, like, you've had, like, years of, like, knowing how this reboot works. You're the one who told everyone else how the reboot worked. You are the exposition device for info you yourself do not seem to understand.
Yeah, it's weird. She gets the Biyomon treatment. Tapermon's acting like Biyomon. Where I think it literally says the same thing Biyomon said. It's like, I don't know you and I don't want to know you.
Like, maybe I guess the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's like, maybe it's to play Doll's advocate, blah blah, Doll's advocate. Maybe it's like, it came back, its personality is different, and she thought there'd be, like, instant connection or something, and it just remember, like, magic, and she wasn't prepared for that or whatever. Just...
Yeah, the kids were kind of like, hey, I thought you might remember me. Like, to their own Digimon.
Like, maybe she was expecting, like, oh yeah, the amnesia's just gonna go away, like, with a power of friendship trope or something, Just to be, like, completely fair here. I still think that's one heck of a stupid reaction, because you should have been prepared for this.
Yeah.
You've had so much time to, like, anticipate this possibility.
I was kind of hoping that, when Biyomon evolves, I was kind of hoping it would turn into something other than Bergermon to imply that it's not the same Biyomon.
Oh, that would have been good.
It's like Biyomon Digivolve 2, and then something, I don't even know what else
it
Biyomon
turns into something
into.
like Kiwimon or something.
Yeah.
And
then Sword would be like, wait a minute.
And it turns from Kiwimon to, like, effing, like, what's it called? Like, what's the, like, Bushbot one?
Darimon.
Yeah, it turns into effing, like, Darimon or something.
Okay, here we go. It turns into Aquilamon. No, wait, that's Hawkmon's thing.
Yeah.
Who's Kokatorimon? Oh, the
Kakatori,
chicken.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Biyomon turns into Kokatorimon.
Turns into Kakatorimon, and then it turns into, like, Digitamamon and, like, Digitamamon's evolution. Oh, man. Like, I think, like, what's a good... yeah, Parrotmon. It turns into Kakatorimon and then, like, Parrotmon.
Yeah. And then it's revealed it's the Parrotmon from that Digimon short.
Oh, that would have been good.
No, it's her Biyomon.
Oh man, I'm trying to think. Are there any like bird megas that aren't like Phoenixmon? Is there anywhere else that line could go for like an alternate like evolution?
Ravamon.
Yeah, but I don't think. Well, no, this was like after like so Ravamon is a thing, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, because this came out like years after like Series 5 or whatever, where I think that's where it became. Yeah.
Yeah, it says that from the list. It seems that it's from Data Squad.
Oh man. Yeah, yeah. So it totally could have just become Ravenmon or something. And Sora's like, yo, what? I accept you the way you are, Biyomon. Like, yo, this is fine.
Even though it would mean that that she's got an entirely different partner.
Yeah, it's like, yo, like Biyomon has changed, but Sora's like, yo, no matter like what you're like now, you're still the Biyomon I love, and yo, it's like a big message or whatever. Man, that would have been cool. I wish they would have done that, but then they could have got the fan service of Phoenixmon, Garudamon.
No I mean, like I said, the Digimon partners probably get their memories back at some point, so it wouldn't really work if it wasn't the same Biyomon. Because then it would be like, oh, everybody has their friends back except me.
And you know what? I'd be fine with them, having like alternate evolutions just to show that, like, oh yeah, things have changed, right?
Yeah. Even if it meant it was still the same Digimon. It would be cool if it was like, yeah, but they turned into something else now.
Yeah, like Agron just becomes like Shine Greymon and goes through that line.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. Ty's like, yeah, you got him, Greymon! Like, they're not even really phased. Man, I don't just want to, like, go through this Series 5 evolutions again, but it's like, that's kind of where this would lead, isn't it? Because, like, yeah, Godmon would turn to effing, like, Mach Gaugamon or something, I assume. Well, I don't know, it could turn into something else.
Depends on what Godmon can turn into. Ugh.
Oh, man. Well, we have to have Gaomon because, of course. But, like, I don't know, if it's just, like, Ophanimon and stuff, like Megajimon, that'd be enough, I think. That'd be up to be like, okay, yeah, like, things have changed, this isn't, like, the same as it was back then.
Yeah. The wiki says that Gatomon only turns into Angelomon or Sylphimon.
Yeah, alright. But yeah, so kids go to the digital world. All their Digimon are like missing their memories, and they're just like, okay, you know what? We have to start over. But it's like, at least we didn't lose them forever. This is a start.
And Biyomon's being a little turd.
Yeah, Biyomon's like, I have to assume this is because in the original series, Biyomon was like super clingy, and that was like her trait. That was like an episode.
Well, it doesn't make sense. Why would she have a different personality now?
Yeah, it's to like show she's different. Because Sora's used to like clingy Biyomon that relies on her, so she became more reliable. And now it's like, oh, Biyomon's super independent, and oh, it's different, and da-da-da. And Sora's like, oh no, but Biyomon, I still love you. Biyomon's like, fuck off.
Pretty much.
Biyomon's like just a second away from like flipping her the bird in like every scene.
And I'm still kind of confused about this because weren't these Digimon specifically created to be partners to the kids?
I don't think they're specifically created, but they're intended.
So shouldn't they? No, because this would be back before they were given that role, I guess.
Yeah, this is like...
Yeah,
they
okay.
should at least be like, oh, hey, yo, we're like meant to be their partners or whatever somewhere deep down. But it's like, it's not like something they really know yet.
They do. There is bits where Gabumon's like, I feel more safe with Matt when he's stuck with Ty.
Yeah, like some of them are like, okay, you didn't see it because it's like you have like Modimon / Tomon, and they're just like, oh wow, you sure know so many things. And he's like, oh, that's really great, isn't it? And they're like getting along really well. And you get to Biyomon, and she's like, "No, but I hate your meatballs, nom nom. I don't need any more." And just like he'll fly off, but they're like still hanging around.
Yeah, Biyomon's being extremely tsundere.
Just like tsundere to the max. Dang it, man.
Also, Mekumon just shows up, and not Matt, Tai, like, tries to catch her.
Yeah, and Mekumon just escapes through a portal, and there's like, "Oh, this crap definitely isn't done then."
Yep.
So yeah, we go through like the Digidestined have to like relearn about their partners and stuff, and it's like a whole process.
They eat a bunch of food and turn into the rookie forms.
Yeah, like everything's going pretty normally, and suddenly it's like, oh hey, like there's Mekumon, and Mekumon gets really angry that like Mei isn't there.
Also, Mekumon's still hanging out in champion form, which probably isn't a good thing.
Yeah. But yeah, they find Mekumon. Mekumon is super upset that Mei isn't there, and then Mei shows up, and Mekumon is super upset that Mei's here now.
Okay, so Mekumon starts attacking Mei, like with like wind blades or whatever.
Before we get to this, yeah, we should probably mention that like Machinedramon shows up first.
Yeah, but I'm jumping to like near the end of the movie, anyways.
All right, what? Screw it. Let's just go for it.
So Mekumon, upon seeing Mei, and she's like really upset, is like, "How dare you leave me in the digital world?" and blah blah blah, and like she's flinging like these wind blades at Mei, and she's all upset. So Dark Genai captures Mei, and Mei and Mekumon are on a boat, and all of Genai's partners are, well, Machinedramon and Metal Siegedramon have been dealt with at this point. So
Yeah.
it's Mekumon, Mei, and Dark Genai. And instead of going all psycho and whipping wind blades at Dark Genai, Mekumon just kind of stands there while Mei is being, like, strangled.
Yeah, basically.
Mekumon, what the heck?
And she suddenly likes Mei now, even though she was like all like against her the entire rest of the movie.
Well, no. The first time, after they meet, and she's like, I
guess they
scared.
did have that scene.
Yeah, I thought you would turn evil for good. I was scared, but I'm here now, and I'm gonna take care of you and whatnot. And Mekumon seems to forgive her pretty quickly.
Yeah, like, it seems very, like, plot contrive-y, but it's like, whatever, it's fine enough.
The Digimon are pretty forgiving, usually.
Yeah.
At least partner Digimon.
Like, Mekumon's clearly not in the right state of mind, it seems.
Yeah. Also, Mekumon's, like, what the heck? Mekumon is probably not even a Digimon.
What?
Well, like, how do I describe it? I can't remember what Mekumon's function was. It was like to reset the digital world or something. Like, specifically, that was Mekumon's function.
Yeah. Like, they mentioned something about that. It's like, oh, it's like Mekumon's the balance or something. They're the tool of, like, homeostasis or something.
Yeah, so I guess, okay, Mekumon is a Digimon. But, like, it was specifically created for a goal. For a function of the digital world.
So it's...
And it's kind of weird that she became a partner Digimon at all.
Yeah. It feels like it's non-possible that, like, Genai probably created Mekumon with, like, Himikawa or whatever to, like, reset the digital world or something.
Yeah, well, yeah, at this point, Genai would have been a good guy.
Well, would he have?
Yes, because when the kids met him, he was a good guy. And this was before he met the kids.
Wait, when... Back when, like,
That,
May first met Meikumon?
no, I'm assuming that this digital world reboot thing was happening, like... when we see Himikawa and Nishijima, and they're hanging out in that library or whatever, maybe I'm just a bad judge of like how they looked, but I would assume they were like high schoolers at that point.
Yeah, I don't think that's, like, when she gets the email, though, is it? Or am I wrong?
Well, when she's working in the library, she's working on the reboot.
Yeah, she kind of is, isn't she?
Yeah, she's working on the reboot at that time when Jinai should still be a good guy.
Yeah, so either someone really fucked up, which is non-possible knowing, like, the stuff that happens in this movie. Like, inconsistencies galore with, like, effing, like, evolutions, basically.
Yeah.
Or, like, it's either that, or they're, like, not as young as they look, or something. Because it seems like, they're, like, teenagers or something. Like, they're, like, young adults, right?
Yeah.
Like, they definitely seem to be, like, younger than they are right now, it seems. And I just sort of assume, like, oh yeah, like, this happens, like, they're having their, like, whole thing over it. And, like, then Genai, like, contacts them sometime in the future, and he's like, oh, hey, wanna, like, reset the digital world and get your partner back? And she's like, okay, I'm in. And it was, like, his idea.
Yeah. She's probably working with... well, yeah, I mean, that's why they met up in the digital world, and then she just wandered off without him stopping her.
I just realized there is a possibility. It's a very stupid possibility, but, like, it might be a thing.
Oh, yeah?
What if somehow she was able to, like, get information on, like, the reboot without Genai's help, with, like, nothing in the real world? Like, probably based on, like, just the Digivice alone or something, just working off of, like, just literal, like, shot in the dark. She somehow just divined from the ether, like, oh yeah, like, the digital world can be rebooted. And she was, like, trying to get people together to somehow cause a reboot with methods she did not know would work or would have completely understood before Genai showed up and gave her the means to do it.
I don't think it's too crazy to think that Himikawa was a smart lady. Just crazy.
Cause, like, I'm trying to think, it's like, how would you even, like, know effing, like, technical specifics of the digital world if you're, like, studying it from the other world, right?
Mm.
Like, I don't know, that seems, like, really weird to me. Like, I know there's, like, stuff in Tri where it's like, oh, people are, like, monitoring, like, the digital world, or, sorry, not Tri, Tamers. Other stuff in Tamers where people are, like, monitoring the digital world or whatever. But, like, this doesn't seem to be like that, Like, this seems to be, like, early days of the organization, maybe, at best. It's like, oh, how would she, like, know any of this? And, like, that's the type of oversight that, like, I wouldn't be too surprised by if they just didn't think the timeline through, and they're just like, oh yeah, this is in the past, and Genai was also the past of this movie. Even though it's like, they don't really connect. But yeah, so... effing... jeez... yeah, this whole reboot plan is probably, like, nonsense. Like, it's very possible she was just, like, just somehow knew, like, oh yeah, maybe the digital world can be reset, and came up with the name Reboot on her own. And she was just like, oh yeah, like, I don't know how we're gonna do this, but this is the file folder for the thing we don't know how to do. And it's got nothing inside of it because Meicoomon doesn't exist yet. Well, actually, wait, no, because, like, didn't Mei take Meicoomon to, like, her father or something?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that might actually explain not everything, but some stuff.
Well, he was, yeah, he's part of that organization, isn't he? The same organization that Himikawa is part of?
Yeah, I thought he was.
Yeah, in fact, I think he's a high-ranking member of it.
Alright, so maybe it's like... unless I'm, like, missing something super important, like... Maybe it was like, oh yeah, Himikawa forms the organization. She doesn't really have a plan, but she's just forming a group together to, like, find out about Digimon. And it's like, oh hey, here's Meicoomon. And they study what Meicoomon can do, and that's where Himikawa was like, oh yeah, like, maybe this thing can reboot the digital world, possibly, I guess. And it just sort of, like, turned out her assumption was true, even though she had no, like, way to confirm it yet. Like, that seems like what we'd have to be dealing with, doesn't it?
I don't know.
And our way, like, it seems pretty likely this was just a complete shot in the dark as far as the villain's plans go. It seems even more likely that we're gonna get no clarification on this whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if Alphamon was trying to destroy Meicoomon, then it's very likely that at least Alphamon is on the good guy's side.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because Alphamon's goal might be, well, if the Libra, which is what they keep calling Meicoomon, at least in the dub, I don't know if they do in the sub.
Yeah.
But Alphamon's like, if it's destroyed, then it can't fall into the hands of evil.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, it can't fall into the hands of evil, and it can't, like, reboot the digital world in the bad way that destroys all technology.
Yeah. Also, Hackmon's voice, oh my god.
So I watched the sub. I want you to describe to me what Hackmon sounds like.
Extremely deep voice. Extremely deep. You know the Biyomon in Next Order? Deeper than that.
Oh my god.
It was so jarring. What's it sound like in the sub?
Like, he just sounds like, you know, like a normal, like, person. It's just like, you know, just like, oh yeah, like, da-da-da-da-da, you know? Like, he sounds kind of serious, but yeah.
I'm just gonna go, go find it.
Oh, man.
Do you know what episode it was in?
It'd be 16 or 15?
Let's try 16. I'll jump through it real quick.
Yeah, it's something like that.
I gotta hear his voice in the sub.
Like,
I know what Hackmon's voice sounds like in... Oh, there it is. I jumped right to it.
Oh, alright.
Hold on.
Holy crap.
That's still deeper than I expected, but not hilariously deep like the dub is.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, oh guys, you know, Rocky kind of like armored rookie. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever, it's fine. Like, it wasn't anything like too out of the ordinary, I feel like, in the sub.
It is still kind of surprising, because my first exposure to Hackmon talking was in Cyber Sleuth. And Hackmon has, like, you know how Agumon sounds?
Yeah?
Yeah, he sounds like a child-level Digimon. He has kind of like a high-pitched voice.
Yeah, so like that kind of like, you know, cartoony, like, you know, hey guys, let's, you know, like that.
Yeah, It's a little more, a little less high pitched and silly than that, but like
Yeah.
he sounds like a child Digimon.
Yeah, man.
This sounds like he's a champion.
Yeah. Honestly, like, he does kind of look pretty rough.
Yeah. Hackmon's a rookie. Don't.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Also, who the heck? I guess Hackmon just works for. I don't know.
Like, it seems to imply works for, like, either Alphamon or Yggdrasil.
He says he's neither friend nor foe.
Might be Yggdrasil then. Cause he's like, oh, I follow the will of, like, homeostasis or whatever. And he describes what homeostasis means for the idiots in the audience. Yeah, had you ever been one of those conversations where someone just, like, says a word that they know is complex sounding, and they immediately explain what the word means? Like, just completely unprompted, just out of nowhere. Yeah, so he's like, I follow the will of homeostasis, and homeostasis means, like, you know, to preserve, like, the balance of the natural order. So I follow the natural order or something.
Hackmon is true neutral.
Yeah, literally telling this to a scientist. Yeah, he just sort of, like, just explains that. And he's like, oh yeah, like, you know, Jinai's been up to some crap, I guess. And that just seems to be the extent of the conversation from what I remember. Like, I think he name drops Yggdrasil or something, and he's like, oh yeah, we must maintain balance or whatever, and then he just kinda leaves.
Yeah, so does he, in the sub, does he call him Yggdrasil?
Yeah.
Okay, in the dub, they renamed him to King. This is how they pronounce it: King Drazel.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't like that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna call him Yggdrasil then.
Yeah. Like, I can kind of understand why they, like, did it like that, but it's like, nah, when you call it, like, a king, it just sounds like, you know, a weird, like, you know, knight or something. Like, I guess that makes sense, but, you know...
Makes it sound like some kind of ruler, and that's not really...
Yeah, it makes it sound like a person, right?
Yeah.
And, like, from our stand from, like, you know, just looking at just wikis and, like, whatever the heck else, like... Yggdrasil isn't really, like, a sentient entity, it's just this vague will of the digital world.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really, like, a thing as much as it's, like, the world itself and, like, the collection of data. You know? Yeah, I hope that, like, makes sense.
Yeah, Yggdrasil is less a actual being, and it's more just like the will of the digital world.
Yeah, it's like the will of the planet, like in effing like Final Fantasy VII, where it's like, oh yeah, the live stream just sort of knows things, and it just sort of has intent sometimes. Like, that's what I kind of imagine Yggdrasil's basically like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like... effing back on track a little bit, Machidron just pops out of the effing ground. Like, going back a little bit. Is pops out of the ground just out of nowhere, just like starts firing his Giga Cans to kids immediately. Like, they're saved by something, but they get split up and, like, they're nearly done. Like, you see them, like, in slow motion as the blast is coming, like, just illuminated by the attack. And, like, it looks like, you know, effing, like, from the way it's framed, like, oh yeah, Agumon's just going to die. Like, straight up.
Yeah.
Like, Ty's reaching out for him, and you kind of expect, like, his hand to start, like, disintegrating. Yeah, they somehow escape unharmed through means that aren't really explained, even though they're probably kind of important. And, like, they all sort of show up. They all show up at, like, different places. Mimi looks over, and she seems to see the Shogun Gekomon house.
Oh, that's where it sent them. I was like, I feel like I should know where this is.
Yeah, because she's like, why this place? But it's like...
In the dub, she's just like, oh, this place is scary.
Yeah. It's like, shots into the Shogun Gekomon house. Like, I think Izzy and Matt or whatever, like, got sent to the, like, desert with, like, you know, the telephone poles. Yeah, it's like the one they're, like, just walking through to, like, get to Yokomon's village, I think. I believe that's the one.
Maybe. And then they almost get hit by a train.
Yeah. So I guess that desert does have trains in it.
Maybe not by the time they were walking the digital world when they were kids.
Yeah.
The trains might have stopped running by then.
Yeah, like, effing, like... where's Tai? Is he, like... I think him and Sora are just at, like, some random cliff or something.
They're in the woods.
Right, yeah.
Oh, wait. Well, no, they're wandering, like, some canyons.
Yeah. Well, they get to some... Whatever. Big thing is that, like, effing everyone seems to be on Foul Island except for Mimi, who just got yeeted just way the heck over to the continent of Server, because that's a thing.
By the way, Tai and Kari, I think, are in the forest, because I remember him talking to Gabumon there.
Right, yeah, and, like, Sora's just in the effing jungle with Mako or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though she finds her in the desert, then brings her to, like, the jungle or something.
Also, earlier Sora throws a fit, and, like, when Tai and Matt show up to ask her what's wrong, she's like, I can't explain to you what's wrong, and runs off and causes problems. Anyways...
I can't explain to you what's wrong, because I have to be, like, effing, like, just crazy right now.
I can't just tell you what's going on with Biyomon, and that's making me sad.
I have to act all emotional and irrational, because that's how you write female characters, you know? And it's like, oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd tell me I'm wrong, really, at this point.
You're not
tell me
wrong.
That's not how people do it.
That's kind of how they've been writing Try.
Yeah, I mean, I really shouldn't, like, be like that, because, you know, it's like, oh, like, every single person has been just stupid and irrational this entire time.
They have been for the majority.
Like, Sora feels like one of the few people this 100% doesn't work for. Well, I don't know, I shouldn't really say that here, because she did have that one episode. Yeah, this has kind of a thing where she, like, holds crap in her or whatever, and she learned to deal with it.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest example of, like, the female characters are being written is, like, helpless and whatever. And it's that the entirely new female character is Mako, who is weak and helpless and, like, afraid all the time.
Yeah. Like, just... Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Like, even, like, the group just sort of has to sit down at some point. They're just like, oh yeah, it's probably good Mako isn't here because she's a girl. And it's like, geez, guys.
Yeah, they're pretty much like, yeah, good thing Mako's not here because she'd be... we've done this before. We know what we're doing. She'd be terrified.
Like, the exact phrase is like, oh, a normal high school girl wouldn't be able to handle this. And, like, Sora's like, oh, excuse me?
Okay, that's not what they said in the dub.
They're just like, well, you're not normal. You've been here before, you know? You know how things work. I'm just thinking back to, like, effing episode 1. where it's like Sora was like freaking out way less than effing like anyone else. Like she had her crap together. She was like the first one to touch a Digimon, if I remember right. Like outside of Tai.
Maybe, yes. It's like oh, a normal high school girl couldn't handle it, but an elementary school girl handled it fine.
Yeah, effing Kari was fine with all of this.
Yeah, Kari was like 5 at the time.
Like TK had a rougher time than Kari. Effing Joe had a rougher time than any of them.
Yeah. Kari is weirdly, really brave about everything. It's wild.
Yeah. Like, I remember TK being a bit, like, emotional, because he's like, oh no, but, like, this place is, like, monsters that want to hurt us, and I'm so weak or whatever. And he had, like, that weird baby episode for babies.
Which, by the way, TK lands in the primary village again.
Yeah, and he, like, hurts his leg somehow, so, like, Elecmon's taking care of it. And he's like, yo, I'm sure glad you're helping me take care of the babies. This is the least I can do.
Yeah, I can buy that. It's, TK's dealt with Elecmon before, so he knows it's like, okay, he just wants to protect the baby Digimon, so I just have to show that I'm not a threat.
You know, I kind of like soul thing here that's like, oh yeah, like, of course TK would, like, know how, like, handle the baby Digimon before, because he's, like, had this experience and stuff, and he's had to, like, raise his Digimon twice.
Yeah.
You know, he, like, comes back, and it's like, oh yeah, he's actually doing it right now, and not just letting all the babies loose, you know, he's, like, matured and stuff. And it's like, alright, yeah, sure. But yeah. Effing... Honestly, think back to Adventures, going back a little bit. Like, Mimi was pretty fine with things, wasn't she? Like, until people started dying, Mimi was kind of, like, handling it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, like, the ones who were, like, just, like, not doing well were, like, effing Matt and TK and Joe.
Actually, I don't know. Wasn't Mimi freaking out at first?
I don't remember her freaking out that much. I know she made, like, a big fuss about, like, Izzy's ignoring me and but, like...
Well, when they first met their Digimon, I could have swore that Mimi was running away from her partner.
No, I think that was Joe. Because Joe's the one who was, like, freaking out. He's like, oh no, monsters.
Oh, maybe. You might be right.
Yeah, if I could be wrong, but, like, that's how I remember, at least. And Mimi was just like, oh, hey, everyone, give me your food. And they're just like, no. Yeah, so they all sort of, like... They all get separate, and then they, like, find portals to just appear, and they just get back together, like, soon enough or whatever. I don't think anything... Yeah.
Make Kumon open the portals.
Yeah, that's the big thing. It's just like, oh yeah, like, effing Sora has to offend blah blah, like, not Sora. Mei has to befriend Kumon as Sora befriends Biyomon. And she's just like... actually, I know this is gonna be a jumbled mess, but I kind of do want to go back to Sora just being a dick again. Just the Seaver Sora's just like, no, but like, I have problems and and there's like, no, okay, tell us so we can help. And she's like, no, but like, yeah, you won't understand cause you don't know me. And Ty's like, yeah, cause you always like keep stuff balled up, so like, what's going on? And she's like, well, I don't even know myself, so how could I know? It's like, jeez.
It's like, hey, we can't go. This movie's pretty nice. We gotta have drama.
Like, I guess this is meant to be Sora's arc, but nothing really changes. Like, this is really Biyomon's arc, and Sora's just going through a rough patch in it. Like,
this is definitely Sora's arc because she gets her mega. Yeah, it's weird.
And TK finally gets that payoff from last movie.
Yeah, TK Patamon gets to turn into Seraphimon.
So yeah, like, they all sort of, I forget exactly how they, like, get together, but it's like, whatever, they all get, like, together again, they're, like, on the boat or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, Machine Dramon. Right, yeah! Alright, now I remember, like, because Machine Dramon's going to, like, blast Sora, and, like, Agumon and Gabumon save her. Because, of course. They save her from Machine Dramon's effing, like, Infinity Mugen cannons, or whatever they're called. Just, like, weapons of, like, just digivolved effing ultimates that, like... Alright, no, I need to point this out, because now this is gonna be really nitpicky. But, like, remember back in Adventure how Machine Dramon was introduced? His big thing was like, hey, see these cannons? I can rapid fire this shit. And now, like, every single attack, he's just, like, charging up for, like, a minute straight as everyone's freaking out. And he's like, I'm just gonna fire one big thing and just kill you all. Oh no, my blast is super slow now.
Well, keep in mind that he's seemingly under the control of Dark Jedi. The Machine Dramon we know would probably be like, I'm just gonna keep shooting.
Yeah. Like, the old Machine Dramon was just like, hey, Giga Cannon, and it just rapid fires and hits, like, every single ultimate and de-digivolves everyone. And everyone's like, oh crap, this is a problem. These Giga Cannons are effing dangerous, guys.
Also, if the Dark Masters are here, I wonder how long it'll be until Devimon, or, like, evolved Devimon shows up.
Effing Myotismon comes back again.
Oh my god. Because they say they imply that the reset even restores Digimon that died in the human world.
Oh my god.
Which means Wizardmon, hey. Yay, Wizardmon can live again.
They look over, Leomon's back again. He's just in time for Myotismon to kill him.
Yeah.
Oh, holy... Wait a second. Wait, right, Piedmon's not back. Right, because I was gonna be like, wait, but Piedmon didn't die, did he? But it's like, nah, he's... Alright, yeah. Well, I guess, like, the reset just pulls everything back in, doesn't it?
Yeah, even sent to the whatever other dimension the gate sends him to, it would probably bring him back.
I'm just imagining, like, Paimon's just floating in the void of, like, who knows where the Game of Destiny leads. And he's just sitting there with, like, just a bunch of, like, just dirt and crap, and there's just Valmon just everywhere, just annoying him. You know, he can't really, like, reach them because they're too far away to throw his swords at. You know, he's just like, the gate just opens up and he sees Blackmore Ground getting shoved in, and he's like, oh, now's my chance. You know, he's like reaching for it and it just closes back. He's like, ah, damn it. You just floating around just like, alright, I guess that's just what I'm doing now. Just playing cards with myself.
Yeah, long time to play solitaire.
Yeah, and, like, just the digital wave just comes back, he's like, oh, what the crap is that? He just, like, wakes back up in the digital world, he's like, ah, okay.
Who knows, maybe Piedmon would, like, would have thought his life over. It's like, you know what, I'm not gonna be a bad guy anymore.
I know he'd just come back as, like, an Entrang or baby Digimon, but I like to imagine he just pops back up as Piedmon, and he's just like, huh, what just happened? Oh, right, my memories are gone.
Yeah, I'm making a joke with the idea that his memories would still be intact, where he's just like, you know what, maybe being evil wasn't such a good idea.
He just shows up, and you see like Machinedramon's like about to stab Leomon, and Pinemon shows up and cuts him apart like more Greymon to save him. It's like turns around, just gives the kids the thumbs up.
Just leaves. It's like, okay. The kids are like, alright, we're gonna have to unpack that one.
Oh, man. The thing, like, Puppetmon's just showing up, and he's like, oh, hey, time to, like, kill Kari once and for all. My one true nemesis. And, like, I think Pinemon saves him.
Why Kari?
I don't know, I just saw a name and I just rolled with it.
If anything, he'd want revenge on TK.
Yeah. Like, Puppetmon's just got a gun. He's like, alright, time to shoot that TK brat. And, like, Pinemon takes the bullet for him.
Or he cuts it in half.
Yeah. You just have the scene where, like, Pinemon's just on the ground slowly dying in TK's arms. He's like, I'll avenge you, Pinemon, you noble soul.
Good guy, Pinemon.
Oh man, that's so funny to me. Yeah, I think like Megadramon's like, sorry, Machinedramon. Machinedramon's just slowly charging up his Giga Cans, and he's like, oh man, I sure am rusty at this. Yeah, he just fires, he's like, yeah, no, I made it too weak, and like effing Agron and Gabumon just knock it aside.
Which is again weird.
You think Machinedramon is also holding back?
I don't know. I don't know. The megas all seem really weak in this episode, except for the kids' megas.
Oh,
and
man.
The kids' megas are like above and beyond and completely curb stomp Machinedramon and Metal Seedramon.
Machinedramon's just like, oh no, I'm being forced to kill Tai, my one true friend. Better like hold back super hard so he can escape. And that's why he's like charging up for so long. Yeah, that good old hard Machinedramon character trait of does not want to harm humans.
I wouldn't be opposed, not Machinedramon specifically, because I feel like it would make the least amount of sense. But I would kind of like to see one of the Dark Masters, and probably actually Piedmon, just be like, okay, my evil deeds were, like, this is a bad idea. Maybe they don't become inherently good, but, like, maybe they're just, like, the kids run into them, and it's like, oh, it's Piedmon, and he's like, oh, go away, I don't care.
Man, you know what, like, if anyone needs a redemption arc, it'd be Puppetmon. Puppetmon would be a fun one. Because, you know, you can have that moment where he's like, he's using his strings to, like, control one of the evil Digimon. He's like, yeah, I'll hold him back, you go, TK! And he's like, I finally made my friends! He's like, yeah, turns out I do have a heart after all, guys! Jeez.
Okay, we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah. Something like, just Mel Cedron just shows up and he's like attacking them. And like, I'll point out, why aren't they like regaining their forms throughout like the fight, you know, like bit by bit to help them survive?
Instead of getting it all at once.
Yeah, because getting all at once is just like, it's really stupid. And it also feels like weirdly inconsistent.
I mean, I thought it was cool when it's like, oh yeah, we have this big moment, and then War Greymon and Metal Garurumon just burst out of the water and start air juggling Metal Seadramon. And it's like, okay, that's cool. But I was also, like, at the time, I think I audibly said, oh, we're just jumping to Mega, huh?
Yeah. Just screw everything. We're just gotta go right for it.
Yeah, because in my head, I'm like, oh, they're gonna go to Champion and they'll be able to take him down because apparently they could fight back in rookie form. But
Yeah.
now they jump to Mega.
It's like, this is the type of thing that would make sense if they got their memories back, but it doesn't seem like that's the case.
I was kind of thinking, I was like, oh, they'll hit Mega form and they'll get the memories back somehow. But yeah, that doesn't seem to be the case.
Jeez, before I go on, there's something I want to mention because it's bugging the crap out of me. Okay. It's like, this is the smallest, most nitpicky bullcrap ever, but like, effing, like, all the entrained Digimon, like, early on, they, like, Digivolve to Rookie, and they're just like, oh yeah, we have Sailon, we're good now. And,
Yeah.
you know, Ty's like, oh hey, Agumai's like, oh, so that's why I'm called.
Did he say that in the sub?
Yes.
Okay, they didn't say that in the dub, so they did that better.
And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah,
what?
why wouldn't Agumon know his own name?
So, like, what the... huh?
Yeah, anytime they get a new form, they already know their name.
Yeah, like, that's how it's supposed to work.
Heck, even the kids, like, without missing a beat, they'll switch from calling them by their previous name to their new name immediately.
Like, I get for kids, because they have, like, you know, the Digipedia pulled up and stuff, and they're just like, oh, that's Greymon!
Well, even without looking at, like Izzy's database or whatever.
Yeah.
They'll just be like, oh yeah, Greymon!
So it's like, is every Palmon that's ever Digivolved just, you know, they're just in rookie form, like Raft Revolution, just independently, just like, oh yeah, like, I'm a new thing, I should give myself a new name. Oh, I wonder what I should be called, Buddy Manette, like, Bud Palmon? Yeah, that sounds right. And this all just come up with the same name independently by chance. So they all just get it right. Just, because, like, when they evolve, like, in the original, like, you see the data go into them, and you see, like, yeah, it's like, I'm pretty sure, like, the name or whatever is, like, in the data, it's at least in the background in, like, all different languages and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'd assume it's like, oh yeah, you Digivolve to a new form, and, like, the name is something that just comes with the new data or whatever. Like,
yeah.
you just...
Like I said, it makes more sense in the dub because that doesn't happen.
Yeah, like... Man, that's never going to not bug me, because what the heck?
I was kind of wondering why Agumon wasn't like, how'd you know my name? That's the only thought I was thinking.
I was wondering why Agumon just randomly fell asleep on, like, a log in the river and was going to just fall off, like, a waterfall at random.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I thought that was funny, is just Agumon floating by on a log, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Like, I was certain that was just gonna become part of the argument or something, like, Sora's just like, oh, you wanna, like, you know, you're worried more about Agumon than me? It's like, can't, you know?
Yeah, well, it kinda was.
Kinda.
Ty's like, well, what was this supposed to do? Let him drown?
Jeez. Just so much angst in this show. But yeah, so, like, Spell Seadraw just, like, is attacking the kids, which leads to, like, Ty and Matt hiding underwater or something. It's very confusing. But it's like, where they basically try to swim to the surface and they can't make it. And, like, Agumon and Gabumon just float down and they're just like, hey, we'll save you. And that lets them evolve to Mega just straight away, like, out of nowhere. It's like, oh, this feels like a really big effing, like, contrived thing, but yeah, well, I guess it's kinda cool, though.
Well, there is a moment where it seems like they're talking to their past selves. The Agumon and Gabumon that would have their memories.
I guess you interpret it as that.
They ask in the dub at least. They're like, why did you come back to the digital world? You knew it would be dangerous or whatever. Like I don't know if it did it in the sub, but in the dub they imply that like they know what's going on.
Like,
so I'm not sure if it was a hallucination by Ty and Matt or if they're actually I don't know. To be fair, do we get a scene with Agumon and Gabumon after the fight?
nah, not really. They're sort of like, de-digivolve back, and that's that.
Okay, so they didn't say anything. It's possible they have their memories again.
I have no idea.
We'll have to wait for the next movie to find out, but...
Here's the thing. I imagine the next movie is not going to address this at all.
Well, I mean, the kids have to interact with their Digimon. That'll be enough to know.
Like... So these big, like, jumps through all the forms to Mega. It makes sense when it's like, oh yeah, there's, like, all this history and stuff, like, with these partners and things. But it's like, if they don't have that and they've just been reset, then it's like, okay, well, like, this just feels like a big cop-out or whatever, because these Digimon haven't been trained or anything. Like, they haven't done anything to really earn this, they just sort of get, I guess.
I mean, it's their bond or whatever, you know?
Yeah. But where it's like, that's the part I'm trying to get, is that, like... This entire movie feels like, oh yeah, we, like, reset the Digimon for a big dramatic ending, and this is us just getting back to the point where it doesn't matter and they're basically the same characters again. Like, I imagine next movie we're not going to see edgy Biyomon.
Oh no, Biyomon got over it by the end of this movie.
Yeah, like, it was just sort of phase. It's like, even though these technically are not, like, exactly the same Digimon, they were different and, like, do act sort of differently. Like, we've gone to a point where it's like, now they'll probably all act exactly the same anyways, so none of the reboot actually mattered. The only thing it did was murder Andromon and Leomon again. Not even Leomon, just like Ogremon, but yeah.
Also, I like the justification for why Nyaramon feels comfortable around Kari. And it's Nyarumon's like, oh, you smell like my whistle.
Yeah.
So she smells familiar.
Jeez. Also, about there's a scene where, like, Machinedron's just attacking the group, and, like, effing Salamon just knocks him at bay and, like, keeps him away with effing, with effing puppy howling.
Yeah, and it seems to knock him out for a second. Like Machinedron and Dark Jedi.
The fuck? What?
I don't know. The rookies are at really powerful high levels for some reason.
Yeah, like... I have to wonder if this, like, the people behind this show even really, like, understand the power difference that's meant to be here, right?
Yeah. Because this would have been a good time for Salamon to turn into Gatomon.
Yeah. You know what would have been good if she, like, just attacked Genai and Machinedramon stopped to help him. Like, had to turn around to keep him from falling or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, he falls off and Machinedron just, like, turns to catch him, and that's what lets the kids escape. And, like, you have that moment where Guy's just like, no, don't help me, kill them, you idiot!
Yeah. Also, I want to say that as far as, like, the evolution is concerned, I'm willing to believe that that kind of information is stored in the Digivice. So maybe that's why it would be a whole lot easier to do it now than when they first went to the digital world.
I just realized So I want to make a counterpoint.
Okay.
How long did it take TK to get Angemon back?
A while.
It took a good while. And this is within the day.
Yeah, but at that point, Patamon had digivolved into Angemon once. By the time this has happened, Patamon's digivolved into Angemon multiple times, fused with other Digimon, gone as far as Magna Angemon.
Went Seraphimon once in the movies.
Yeah, at this point, there's more data on it, I guess.
Yeah, sure, why not, I guess. But I'm just thinking back, it's like, oh yeah, TK gets the Digi-Egg back in the original, and they're like, if I remember right, it's like a month from, like, you know, the, like, File Island to, like, the continent of Server, and that's how long it takes for it to hatch. And it's like, oh, it, like, goes to in training within, like, a day or whatever, and then it takes another day or something for it to get to Rookie.
Yeah.
Like, it goes...
easy forms.
Yeah, it goes through, like, all the phases, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like he just, you know, like, holds the Digivice to the Digi-Egg, and it just comes out and then just goes Angemon, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Also, since we got the reveal that Jinai's evil, and he's probably not going to be restoring the Digimon's memories like I thought, maybe the Digivice has backups of their memories.
it's a possibility.
The Digivice does what they need, what the plot needs it to.
I genuinely think that, like, next movie, it's just gonna be like, oh, well, done, Mario. They're new Digimon, but they just act the same. Like, essentially nothing has changed, and we just sweep this all under the rug.
I think it would be unfortunate if they never got their memories back somehow.
Yeah. But yeah, so, like, effing Dark Guy's just doing his thing. He, like, tries to steal, like, Sora's Digivice by pinning her down, and then he just looks her face for no reason.
Yep, that was weird.
That was super effing weird.
And then Biyomon shoots him.
Yeah, it's like... doesn't get the Digivice, he has to run off, and, like, calls Machine Dramon, you know, stuff like that. Man, I also about, like, guys just wearing black now because evil.
Yeah, and not only that, he's more often... Like, when he first shows up again, he's wearing the Digimon Emperor outfit again.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, I was dressed like this by chance, which is, like, another thing.
I can turn into whatever I want, and then he reverts back to his normal, like, the way he usually looks.
If you just need an avatar to get to, like, the human world, then why the Digimon Emperor specifically?
Because it looks evil. And I'm evil Jinai now.
Because there's a point where Jinai explains what he's, like, trying to do. He's like, oh yeah, Digimon's superior to humans, and, you know, I want to make, like, a world where Digimon won't be enslaved, and it's like the effing black and white Pokemon thing. Except it doesn't make sense because they're actual friends.
Yeah, it's not like they're kept in Pokeballs or whatever. And, like,
even in Pokemon, they can leave. In Digimon, they can super leave, and Gomamon did for a bit.
Yeah.
Like, Digimon are self-sufficient. They can, like, find their own food, like, by the own show's standards.
I mean, I think Pokemon could too, but yeah.
Like, there is nothing at all that's, like, keeping just Agumon with Tai, other than, like, their friendship and, you know, the ability to digivolve.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's... Jinai's whole plot is, like... It's like, oh, Digimon are the superior beings. Like, Digimon are infinite because they're reborn when they die. And then he starts going on about taking over the human world with the Digimon.
So, like, what I'm wondering is, like, if this is, like, his motivation, he's like, okay, like, I'm evil now, like, I have Digimon rights over everyone else. Why would he, like, take the image of someone who's, like, specifically known for, like, whipping and torturing Digimon?
Good question.
Like,
Also, what was with the Imperial Dramon?
yeah.
Where did he get an Imperial Dramon? What the heck?
Did he just have that? Did he just bring it back like is he controlling it like the Dark Masters?
Yeah. Because now that it's like, oh, it's Jedi, it makes even less sense.
Like, effing, alright, Machine Dramon, you could probably, like, say what you will because it's like a robot, you could say it's like, oh, it's single-minded or whatever. Mel Seedramon is very much not a robot. Like, he has his own forces, and he, like, gets angry, and, he, like, deals with insubordination and stuff. Like, Mel Seedramon has a, like, very clear personality outside of just big robot monster man.
Well, I mean, Machine Dramon also has subordinates, and he also gets angry at his.
Yeah, but I feel like Machine Dramon is just, like, way more towards, like, just cold, heartless machine,
Yeah. Warumanzimon messes up, and so he nukes him from his office.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, like, as for Mel Seedramon just swinging around with the Divermon, and he's like, oh, hey, don't get too anxious, just enjoy the hunt. And it's like, yeah, this guy is a personality. Like, are you just, like, enslaving Mel Seedramon against his will just for the, like, pure purpose of, like, being a hypocrite?
Yeah, they're under Dark Jedi's control, then yeah, the kind of, huh.
Because, like, I feel like, Mel Seedramon was already pretty much on the side of, like, evil and stuff. I'm pretty sure you could just be like, hey, like, kill these kids for me, I'll make it worth your while.
Yeah, because I could see Machine Dramon being like, no, screw you.
Like,
but Metal Seedramon just like, oh, okay.
I could imagine a situation, like, a Weiba-Ren situation, where, Genai just shows up, he's like, hey, I've backed up the memories of the Dark Masters before the reboot, using their, like, excess data or whatever. Cause, like, yeah, he's Genai, of course he could do that.
Yeah, and boy, do they have a vendetta against you kids.
Yeah. Like, he shows up, Machine Dramon just, like, sees Tai, just starts, like, roaring. He's, like, getting flashbacks of, like, Kari in the show and stuff. And he's just like, I'll kill you,
Yeah, or even if they don't talk. Like, because maybe, I don't know, maybe they just couldn't get good voice actors for it, I don't know. Because they certainly don't talk in this. They're just kind of like wild beasts.
Man, like, why not have them talk and just have them be, like, characters again? Like, that'd be fun.
Oh, sure, I'm way on board with that. I'm just saying, like, it seems like they couldn't get people to voice them, or they couldn't get the original voices back. I don't know.
Yeah, you could have, like, Genai be like, oh yeah, you see, I'm not controlling these guys. They just really want to take you out. He's like, I'm not the bad guy here. I'm just for homeostasis, right?
And what's that on the horizon? Why, it's Devimon and Myotismon.
Yeah. You know what, like, that'd actually be way more fitting. Because why are you just starting off with the Dark Masters?
Yeah, you should have started with Devimon and Myotismon.
Yeah, like, have the Dark Masters as, like, a prelude of things to come. Like, kids go away, Genai's like, alright, well, they managed to slip away. But, who I have in reserve? Effing Edamon and, like, Devimon. And you get, like, the scenes of them having to, like, work together, track down the kids. You could, like...
And there could be some kind of, like, conflict with the Dark Masters and Genai, because it's like, hey, we were enemies before. What's going on?
Yeah. Like, guys just like, yeah, don't worry, I've turned over a new leaf. And he's like, I just want to support you guys now. And you cut over to, like, Devimon. And he's, doing his whole thing trying to be strategic. And, like, Edamon just rushes in like an idiot. And Devimon's just facepalming, like, alright, sure. And he, like, joins in the fight and stuff, trying to control stuff from the shadows. Like...
Did you know that there's a Neo Devimon?
I don't think I knew that.
I was curious. I was like, what does Devimon, what can it turn into? And then the very top one listed is Neo Devimon.
But yeah, like, if you really want to, like, go for the nostalgia and stuff, like, you could have that moment where it's like, oh yeah, TK's got his stuff together. He's like, he faces Devimon again. He could just walk out, just no fear, just like, okay, Paimon, let's do this. And he gets, like, his champion form back. And, like, Andron could, like, take out Devimon again and show how much stronger he is now, right? Like, maybe Diamon's, like, got some of his minions out, and they're just like, okay, we have to, like, guard Digimon to champion to deal with the threat. And, like, Edamon shows up, and that's what makes them have to go ultimate. And, like, you could, like, set up so it's like, oh yeah, no one can go Megalet yet, and, like, Machinedramon is right there. Oh, if only someone could stop this. And then you could have, like, the big Phoenixmon fight. Like, then you bring out, like, Phoenixmon, Seraphimon, and they deal with, like, the Dark Master. Like, I know it'd probably be, like, more of an animation budget for that, but it'd be such a better way to do this plot line. Like, it'd be so much easier.
What do we have, like 2 movies left?
Yeah, there's like 4 of 6.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe they need things to go a little quickly.
Yeah. So, like, I could be wrong, like, cause I thought that, like, 3 is the one that people said goes off the rails or whatever. Feels like this is the one. Cause, oh boy. Effing Genai's just, like, going around as Kin just for the sake of, like, fan nostalgia.
Yeah.
Friggin', like, rookies are, like, finding megas and just, like, taking them to, like, a stalemate, basically.
I do hope we get an answer for what happened to these 02 kids.
Yeah, but, like, we're never gonna know. I can just feel it. Like, we're just never going to see Davis again. Cause, like, there's no way they're gonna have, like, a heroic, like, reveal of, like, effing Davis and Cody.
It could.
They could, but it's like, I don't feel it coming. Jeez, like... But yeah, I think, like... Megas come out, War Greymon just juggles Seadramon. Just effing, like, there's a cool sequence for, like, just Melgarumon just freezes Mel Seadramon in the air, and then War Greymon does, like, a really cool looking great tornado and drills through him.
Yeah.
And you just, like, go over to, like, Machinedramon, who's fighting, like, TK and Sora. And he just grabs Biyomon. Sora jumps on his arm. He just slams Sora against the wall. She's fine. There's not, like, a smear of blood there, as there should be. Yeah, like, Sora's just like, I have to, like, save you, Biyomon. 'Cause, like, I need to make you those meatballs one day. And it's like, yup, there it is. Like, I don't really plan on getting this deep into it, but it's like, just while we're on, it's like, oh yeah, like, Sora's big character mode is just defined by her cooking. Oh boy.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah. It's whatever, really.
Biyomon still being tsundere, so...
Yeah. Like, this...
But but more accepting than before.
Biyomon just goes through all the evolutions. Garudamon doesn't even get to do anything, just goes straight to Phoenixmon.
Well, that's how it was with Hercules, Kabuterimon, and
well, they got to throw a punch.
I mean, whatever. It was still so fast it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And then Rosemon and Vikemon.
Yeah, I do want to say it's at least Vikemon hit Imperial Dramon with his hammer, and that was cool. Sorry, not Vikemon, Zudamon. At least Zudamon swung his hammer but and got hit, and that was cool.
Yeah, but the Mega Forms are the focus.
Yeah. But yeah, just goes straight to Mega, just goes right to Phoenixmon, just lifts Machine Dramon in the air, which is pretty cool actually, just starts throwing him around.
Yeah. Machine Dramon gets air juggled to death too.
Yeah, just throws him around and effing Palmon goes right to Seraphimon. Has the best Magna Angemon transformation they've ever had in anything. Cause holy crap, the one adventure looked bad. But yeah, it goes right to Seraphimon, just rapid fires him with 7 Heaven and takes him out. It's yeah, that makes sense. But it's I just want a quick refresher for people who might be watching this as their only thing. Cause you're ever back at Adventure, I think levels between forms was a big deal, and you could argue some leeway, oh yeah, Agumon takes out some Bakumon here or there, but it's I think the difference between just rookies and a Kawagamon is the difference between in training forms do nothing and rookie forms just sort of they can hurt him a little but they can't take him out. That's the level we're dealing with. Friggin' Edamon shows up and fights 5 champions at once and they can't touch him. That's what this is supposed to be right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're just gonna shoot a Digimon made of the hardest metal in the series canon with friggin' rookie attack, and he's just ugh, my face. I'm pretty sure even the Ultimates attacking in Adventure didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I know I keep going back to that, but just holy shit. Yeah, but yeah, they just destroy both the things. It's oh, but Dark Genai's on the boat though, and he's gonna well, first he just walks up to Mako, just slams both his hands on the wall.
And Mekumon does nothing.
Yeah. He just does the thing. I'm just sitting there, it's isn't that a couple crush confession move? The fuck is going on right now? What? Yeah, just
Dark Genai's going full creepo mode.
Literally, puts a collar on her to, strangle her to death. It's are they trying to make, fan art, or is this all literally just because evil and it's creepy?
I guess. My biggest issue, he's evil, so it has creepo evil stuff, whatever. My biggest issue is still that Mekumon just stands there.
Yeah. Just not even gonna try, are ya? Genai doesn't even have a rank,
Mekumon tried to rip her partner apart with wind blades, but won't attack evil Genai.
He's of course, a partner digivolves to protect their tamer. And it's they don't have to, not all the time.
Mm-hmm. But it works. Mekumon turns into whatever its next form was called, I don't remember.
Make Crackmon or something.
It was something stupid, yeah.
Just friggin'. Ugh.
Just kill evil Jedi.
Just kill me.
I don't have so much of an attachment to Jedi that I'm like, oh, but they gotta save it. It's just kill him. He's not even like a real human being. He's like a fake digital being.
What if they kill Genai and he just comes back as a Digi-Egg?
Okay, sure.
He just crawls out fully grown. He's like, oh, that was weird.
Yeah. It's like, okay, everybody has megas now. Everybody go mega and kill evil Jedi.
I just trying to imagine, because, like, Genai turning into, like, a young guy was, like, just aesthetic, wasn't it? Like, he didn't literally, like, revert in age. He just, like, he's lived for hundreds of years and he just looks young now.
Well, it was a dark dot thing, wasn't it?
I thought was, but I don't know anymore.
Whatever.
But it's like, I just imagine, like, can you even conceive of a world where, like, old Genai from Adventure would have done any of this?
Nah, it's weird. I'd like to contrast the Jedi who dressed up as Santa Claus and went surfing to evil Jedi.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
What a contrast.
Just remember a guy just dressed up as Santa Claus for no reason and just switched to, like, body types between shots just for, like, a gag. Jeez. Like, why was he dressed as Santa Claus again?
Because it was Christmas.
Alright. Just Christmas in Australia. Oh my god. Just...
And that's pretty much the episode.
Yeah.
Movie, whatever.
Remember when, like, effing, like, Salmon did puppy howling and it, like, made effing Machine Dramon just fall back? Man, would it be nice if Mei Kumon could do anything at all to stop this normal human being? It's not like she could take on a friggin' war machine or something. Oh boy.
I mean, Jinai's clearly stronger than a regular human being. He was caught in Palmon's poison ivy and he just ninja jumped out of it.
Yeah, that was weird. What the heck?
Well, it's because he's a digital being. He's probably not on the same level as a human.
You know what would have immediately, like, just instantly fixed this scene? Guy just shows up. He's holding Mei Kumon down with Piedmon. Done. Like, Puppetmon's using the strings. Done. Million things you could do. Done.
Yeah, just make it so that Mei Kumon can't fight back unless it gets stronger.
Yeah. You know, he's like, oh, you can't fight back because, like, you know, like, Puppetmon's got you strung up in his wires or whatever. He's like, yeah, I have even more of the Dark Masters, you see? And it would have been like, oh yeah, like, you know, of course he'd have the others.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, not even mentioning effing Imperial Dramon, because, yeah, geez, that would hold a champion down for sure.
Seriously, we gotta wrap this up.
Alright, there's any predictions we want to make or whatever?
After what happened between last one and this one, no, I don't have any idea of what's gonna happen.
Alright, see you around then.
Yeah, later.
Later.